All right, Local Works Ad Hoc Subcommittee of the EDIC, February 26th, 3 o'clock. Call to order, and can we adopt the agenda?
I make a motion to adopt the agenda.
All right.
I'll second.
And next up is the meeting minutes.
Did everyone receive them?
I read them. I thought they looked great.
You approve?
Hey, before we get too far, does anyone know if Eric or Kathy or Susan are going to be here?
I don't.
I received no intended absence. Maybe I was reading
Okay, so the motion made by Josh, adopted by Marianne. I mean, seconded by Marianne.
All right.
Is this the same for the minutes? We've done that?
I think we're all set with that. Minutes. Now, any public comments?
Well, welcome, Mark. Welcome back again. Good to be here.
All right, so let's get down to number 5 here, old business. What do we have?
Everyone received the survey timeline?
Yes, thank you for that.
Good.
Today.
Did you send that today?
This morning. Yep.
I haven't been home since this morning.
Okay. Would you like me to make a copy of it for you?
She's being nice.
Okay. After I sent it, I realized I didn't have in there anything about the flyers that Josh was working on for distribution or creation of it, or for the Easthampton, the ECAT ads that we were maybe having on the ECAT website. So those are big.
So we need to add those in?
They're not in the calendar, so if we want to, we can talk about that now and then I can send it back out, or if there's a need to add it, I don't know. These are all double-sided.
Yeah, if you feel the need to have them on there, that's fine. If you don't feel the need to have them on there.
Sorry.
And we don't want to have them available at Eastworks, since there's a lot of people who live in Eastworks and work there.
I think not.
You think not?
Yeah, because I think we're getting too many different places, number one, and the reason we picked these were for people who are going to be less mobile.
But the last drop, isn't that I mean, you got 2 senior citizens type places, so most people, senior citizens are on fixed income, they're not doing a lot of purchasing. We really want to know what the
I
next...
think that's a big assumption.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, not in our, all the different categories. You think they're shopping at...
Well, but see, that's what we want to know. That's exactly the information we want to know. You know, if they're on a fixed income, so they're going to less expensive places like Walmart, then those are that's the kind of information we want to know.
But I don't think we should isolate all of Eastworks, because there's so many people who live and business, and people travel through there, with, like by the RMV, there could be a box.
Well, we're not isolating them. All we're doing by having these 4 locations are for anyone who's less likely to get at any of the other ways.
Okay.
You know, I think a lot of people in Eastwork probably are pretty
Tech savvy
and
Then we should let's put a couple signs up around Eastworks.
I think that's what we had discussed at the last meeting, I think, was to flyer Eastworks and flyer the places that are big places where we're not putting a drop box.
Okay. All right, I'm sorry.
No.
But I don't know that we... Yeah. So like I said, we didn't get that. I missed that and didn't get that on the calendar for like when we want to go out and flyer and how we want to go about flyer and where we want to go to flyer.
So we should add that somehow to here, to flyering. We'd make a list of things to add to the timeline.
Yeah.
We should probably be flyering when? I think we should make a little schedule to try to flyer a couple different times so that stuff gets taken down, and if each one of us puts up 5 flyers, that's probably enough.
So maybe the week of the publication of the survey in the summer?
I wouldn't want to flyer prior till we You know, we're saying that, I mean, I put on that we wouldn't put out the surveys and drop boxes until after it's published in the Gazette. So,
Why don't we flyer
But, I mean,
around the 3rd or the week of the 3rd, so that when the press release comes out, then you start flyering, and Tuesday, Wednesday, people start seeing it, then boom, it's open on the
Well,
Survey Monkey.
I didn't want to put out saying something that will have these locations where you can pick it up, if we're not going to actually have those
But
things to pick up.
Well, we say as of a
Or
certain
we
date.
can move that distribution, the survey hard copies. But then I was thinking, if we put all these hard copies out there before they're published in the Gazette, people are gonna, if they haven't received it in the Gazette yet, they'll grab the paper copy and we'll be using a lot more. If we wait till after it's published in the Gazette,
Right.
then we'll,
But we could have in the flyers that they'll be there as of a certain date. Right?
I would just wait to put them up until they're there. And then there's no, they wouldn't have to read the fine.
But don't we want to update this ad so it's prominently saying, or a different ad for the Eastworks place where it says, go to the website to take the survey? And why not put that up around the same time the press release is out, so that says starting Thursday? Or maybe just put them on Wednesday night? So that why have the Survey Monkey open to the public if nobody knows about it?
Do we want to make a little, so we can make a little Channel 5 thing and circulate that? You know, maybe someone can be the spokesperson for local works, blah, 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 the graphic with the link. And also, I was thinking before or after all the government meetings that happen at 7 o'clock, the school committee and the city council, we could put a slide in at the end. Like, have you filled out your local work survey? Please go to.
Would it make more sense to hold off on opening the Survey Monkey till the 11th then? So they're just all at the same time and everything's coordinated?
We don't know when the press release will actually occur in the press. That's
Well,
just
they-
when you're sending it to the press, so it may not be published for a week. Or can we guarantee how quickly they'll...
We can't guarantee, I mean, all we can say is that we're doing this thing, and whether or not the press, the media wants to pick up on it is up to them. From what I've seen, they say if you're doing an event or something like that, 3 to 5 days notice is usually sufficient for any type of daily type of...
But we want to get as many people to the Survey Monkey as possible, right? So we
Right.
can announce that the Survey Monkey is open.
I think getting some of these up beforehand.
There is Russell Brain.
Say, hey, Russell.
I invited Russell to join us because I should have added it to the new business as a part of potential partnership with Art in the Orchard.
Great.
I really just
cool.
need to listen and see what the committee is all about.
I need this here for all my stuff.
I can get it all in.
No. If I didn't have a little flavor, it would just be...
How you spell your last name? Yeah.
B-R-A-E-N.
Great. Thanks.
Russell the Brain, they call him.
Welcome. Great.
Let's go around and introduce ourselves. So,
Sure.
Kathy.
Matt?
Josh Rosenblatt. Mark.
Denise, Marianne.
And the meeting is being recorded, just so you know.
It's up there. Okay, we're talking about the timeline of when we get the word out about our survey that we're, our consumer preferences survey. Yeah, I was just saying, it would be a good idea to have some of these up, you know, a little bit before it goes live. Talking about Survey Monkey. I don't think we worry about people looking for a hard copy. If it says these will be available on such and such a date.
That's probably a rough draft, probably is. You get the idea.
I would think maybe we should just move the Survey Monkey to coincide with the publication in the Gazette.
But what if we have the publication in the Gazette coincide with Survey Monkey? And just have everything happen on April 4th?
Isn't there some time constraint
Is
for
that,
Because,
the copying and stuff? And
yeah, I mean, right now we have March 14th is when the the finalized survey has to go to the Gazette. If we move it up a week, then that goes to a week from Thursday.
Wait, March 14th is so it can be an April 4th summit?
No, April 11th summit.
Oh, 11th. Okay.
So if we want to move the survey up, we have to finalize.
Well, no, that's
Well,
what
we had discussed
This
previously.
is the last meeting. Right now, we have this meeting and one more meeting before the finalized survey goes to press.
Okay.
If we move up the survey,
This
this
is
is
the
the last meeting.
Okay, I'm sorry, then let's keep it at the 11th.
I believe we did discuss that the Survey Monkey would be open a little earlier, just to kind of, since it was a soft opening, prime the pump and get people excited. We put up the flyers, modify it so it points to the Survey Monkey.
I would say let's just wait to have that all coincide with the public. Open the Survey Monkey, we can start doing it on Facebook and start sending out the links through emails, but doing all the notification, the publications, going around, putting out the boxes and everything after it's in the Gazette.
Well, it would be cool if...
And then we have like one massive,
Actually, I think it would be good for us to have something in advance of what it is the summit, saying, watch your summit.
I think we should take a vote on whether or not to have the Survey Monkeys start on the 4th, and then wait for the summit on the 11th.
Actually, what I think was more important was whether or not we get flyers out publicizing Survey Monkey before it's live.
Right, and that-
I mean,
that too.
No, publicizing the summit, the hard copy of the summit before it's live.
Yeah, because it gets people excited. You may not want to publish it so close to the time when the summit comes out and it's not in there, you know what I mean? So if they're looking for the summit on Friday, maybe we should wait till Monday to start talking, put the flyers up so people don't go, no, where's the survey? Right? What if it's gonna be in the
What-
The
summit?
9th.
What
the
date
8th,
was that?
Monday the
The
8th.
8th, the 8th.
We'll do it before it appears in the summit.
The summit is on every Friday, so if people get...
Thursday.
Or Thursday.
Well, Friday in the mail.
Right, I get it in the mail.
Subscribe.
Yeah, I get it in Friday. So anyway, they would, if they see flyers up, look in your summit, then it comes Friday, it's not there, then they're gonna be upset.
Well, we can pinpoint which one it's going to be in, though.
But nobody's gonna read that. They'll say summit, survey, where is it? You
In
know,
the summit.
next week's. Well, then they're lost interest.
No, in the summit to come. We'll say it's going to be in the summit on such and such
Oh, you're
a
saying
date.
put an ad in the 4th of
Right, put
April,
an ad
next
in.
week's summit.
Next week's summit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Keep an
put
eye
that, but also put flyers up
All right.
around Eastwick saying, watch the summit from this specific date for the survey.
Let's just wait until after the summit has come out before putting up those flyers to prevent confusion.
Then what's the purpose of putting them up?
Because you got a whole week of the flyers being up, Monday the 8th through that Thursday, where people they see the flyers, you know, and then that way they're not...
I checked, it's not there.
You still have the ad in the summit saying, look at next week's summit, but you wouldn't have the
There's no ad in the summit.
I thought we were putting an ad in the summit.
reminder ad.
Not until the 18th.
Well, then maybe we could put an ad in, look at next week's summit.
Okay, let's say I have watch for the local works consumed, meaning it's going to be in advance of it.
Okay, well, that's not what I thought we had talked about at the previous meetings.
Okay.
So I could be wrong.
I think what we wanted to do is to pique people's interest before it goes out, so they're looking forward to it.
Right.
It's, instead of saying, this is what came out before, see if you can go find it and do it.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it should be a reminder ad before.
Beforehand.
Yeah.
If we do it after the fact, it's chasing the horse after it's already...
Do one before and after. Instead of having two after, do one before and one after. How about that?
That's right.
Put a reminder ad the same day the Survey Monkey is up in that, the 4th. Go today. Starting now, you can go online and take our survey. There's a printed copy coming in next week's summit.
I like that.
Does that affect the ad timeline anything?
We already have the copy ready, right? The ad
Yeah, I
copies
mean, we
are
have to
ready.
get that ad. I think the ad for the copy for the timeline for the summit for the ads is 4 weeks as well. They want 3 weeks, so we have to give it to them 4 weeks out.
So that's exactly enough time.
So if we want to put it on the 4th, again, we have to have that, this is the last meeting to finalize all that stuff.
Well, it's okay to finalize the ad today, I think.
All right?
Okay. And hopefully we can talk about the ad today.
Okay.
Okay.
So which ad do we want to strike?
Well, they're both, one's an ad and one's a flyer. So,
No, sorry. And look, we had reminder ads on the 18th, the 25th, the 2nd, and the 9th.
Strike the 25th reminder ad and move it to the 4th. The week before it's published.
So we'll still have the 2nd and the 9th in May?
Still have, oh, I didn't see May.
Or do you want to get rid of like one of the ones in May, the 2nd?
I don't think we need so many after the fact.
Yeah, I think that by
Well,
then,
my understanding was that the ones that, the reminder ads were in the summit, don't forget to take the survey online.
online.
Or go to these locations and pick it up or drop it off.
Yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't hurt to remind.
And then it was just like in the summit while it's online.
But
And then-
we just moved one of them to beforehand. I don't know what our
Yeah.
budget is.
Well, that's what the press release is supposed to do. The press release is supposed to generate that buzz. That's what I thought we had talked about. So, I mean, I'm happy to
I
do
see-
whatever.
I see your point.
It just seemed like-
The press release, we can't guarantee when or where or who will see. At least we know the summit is where
But
this survey is occurring.
We work regularly with people in the Gazette who will generally work with us to write these types of things. So,
Can we do a press release and purchase the ad spot, or just?
Just move one of the ads from the end,
Yeah.
from the 9th.
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Happy medium and.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we'll have one ad beforehand, as well as the press
and
release.
3 after.
so I'm gonna get rid of the 25th.
It's only like, what, $40?
Either way, get rid of one of them at the end.
No, yeah, I was going for the $90 one, but I can adapt it to the $40 one.
Or whatever,
Yeah.
budget.
Yeah, I mean, we have money we have to spend.
Right, I mean, we budgeted, we opened a purchase order for 4 ads for that price, whichever that was.
I didn't
think
see
it
a
was the 9th.
specific ad selected. I saw various ones.
I thought I said it was like 2 column by 3 inches or something like that.
There were a variety of ones that were there. I didn't see a
Yes.
specific one selected. So, after, offline, let's talk.
Why don't we think about when the flyering should be, so we can have that organized for next time?
Okay.
And then let's move on to, any,
More important stuff.
yeah.
Pretty important.
The Survey Monkey. Can we talk about that briefly?
Well, actually,
Or you want to
we're
talk
talking
about the ads?
Let's
Okay.
finish those. These were really just a draft. Asking for your input. Let's talk about the ad as the physically smaller of the two.
Look good.
So obviously change the date from April 4th to April 11th, right? Right?
Is that right? Yeah.
Can you say like, watch for the local works, blah, 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 to be published, or fill it out now,
Online.
online,
With
yeah, with the URL, your opinion matters, and then
Yeah.
maybe just like shift it down a little bit.
Sure.
I think that's a lot of copy at the top of the ad.
Okay.
I would,
You could say, coming April 4th, local works summit.
the idea is, local works and consumer preference survey, your opinion matters. You know,
Okay, yeah.
Watch for it in the summit, or go online or pick it up.
Now, we're going to list the drop places on the SurveyMonkey as well as our website and Facebook pages and things?
I think if someone's already on SurveyMonkey, we don't
need to.
There's no need. So I think we're doing the ads, where they're going to be.
But not this first ad.
Yes, this first ad.
Yeah, I don't see that, it's not counterproductive to say that they will be
But
also
they won't,
available.
but they won't be.
They will be.
They will be.
They just won't,
Future
will
things.
not be today.
As of X date.
I mean, we're putting out an ad that says, in the future, it's coming, and in the future, it will be. I mean, I don't think it really matters. I just think that we've really kind of discussed this to death, and I'm ready to give it up for Lynn. Frankly, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude about it at all. I'm just kind of trying to make a joke. But
I laugh. Okay. As of...
I mean, I just feel like we're doing our due diligence as a committee by putting these things out. We can't make for everybody.
So they'll be available hard copy April 11th, right? Correct.
That's what the schedule says, yeah, in this letter.
Unless we want to move that hard copy distribution up.
I don't think we did.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
So we got electronic, following week, all written, all print copies, and then a bunch of reminder ads. I'll make a thing. If you send it, well, you'll send this out anyway, right, Josh, the copy? I'll put this up on the television screen at the end of the city council meeting. We can also make, Matt, if you want to come into the studio, we can make a little PSA live about it and have that distributing. And we can do that anytime. It doesn't, I can put it into the system. It doesn't have to play until April 4th or whatever.
I still have to check with Big E, but who's going to check with Lathrop and senior citizens?
We're all set.
We're all set with both?
Yeah.
What do they have for requirements for boxes or?
As long as they're clearly labeled and checked on frequently, which obviously
It isn't
we
called
will.
this,
We're all
too,
set.
by the way.
What's it called?
It's the Easthampton Council on Aging and Enrichment Center. So Easthampton COA and Enrichment Center.
That's what you're calling the senior center? It's the council on aging.
It's what the senior
Yeah.
center is called.
Yeah.
COA and enrichment?
I'm not calling it, but
Well, no, I mean, that's
Yeah.
good to know what it's actually
Oh,
called.
yeah.
Easthampton
COA and
COA
Enrichment
and
Center.
Enrichment Center.
Okay.
It's Council on Aging.
Right, but I mean, if I can avoid spelling it all out.
The enrichment center, I think.
Or just
You
the
could just
council on
say,
aging.
yeah, Easthampton Council on Aging
Okay.
too. Basically, the people who go there know what it is, so they won't think that there's a separate senior center.
Okay. Is Lathrop Community spelled correctly, or written correctly?
Now, there's the community there's a building, there's a main building that has like assisted living, and then there's
Yes.
all these surrounding buildings. So do we want to specify that it's actually it's not Lathrop, it's like the community main building or something?
I think we
Kind
can
of
leave
like at
that
the
to
inn.
them as well.
What's that?
I think they call it the inn.
I don't know, but I think we can leave that to them. Because I'm sure they have communications that goes within the community. We'll leave
But
that
we're
to them.
putting it out.
Right, but I think we can leave it to them to disseminate to everyone where it is within the community.
Okay.
Okay, I will get this updated and send it to everyone.
All right, so we're going to get this first copy in the ad for March 7th.
All right, so then, did we look at the other
Supposed to be
side?
black and white.
That's all.
I know it's supposed to be black.
On the screen, I can do color.
So we decided that we're gonna target 2 senior citizen centers and not Eastworks for the paper.
Eastbrook is going to get flagged.
Flyers, yeah.
Eastworks can get fired. Okay.
And we don't have a date for when we're going to do flyering.
I think we do flyering when Survey Monkey goes out.
So we'll do it that
April
Friday.
4th.
I thought we had just decided to do it on April 8th. So as to avoid summit confusion.
Okay. So it's only 3 days before.
That should be fine.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think it matters. If someone wants to go out on Sunday, they can do it then too, but after the,
And we'll come up with a list of locations to flyer at a later meeting.
Yeah. Everywhere we can. Okay, then, so for the flyer, does anyone have, other than making the same changes, corrections to the locations for hard copy, does anyone have thoughts as to what else we're going to flyer? And
So
the
can you
survey
just
monkey.
repeat what those corrections, it's the web address, our web address, the Survey Monkey,
PCOA. Big E's needs an S, apostrophe S.
It is, last stress, okay.
and it's actually City Hall in Easthampton.
Municipal building, isn't it? Do they call
Well,
it that?
yeah, but
Do they call it City Hall? Because I was.
well, it says municipal building,
Okay.
so it's the Easthampton Municipal Building, but it's also City Hall, but it's not Town Hall. Town Hall is the one
I've
on
already
Main
crossed
Street.
out the word town.
Yeah.
Do I do City Hall? City Hall is probably more familiar than municipal building, right?
Maybe not, because people come here to pay their taxes, they don't think of it as coming out of City Hall to pay their tax.
Okay.
I would call it municipal building just because
That's
they
what it's
call it
called.
municipal building.
Okay. So I'm adding the SurveyMonkey local works web address to the flyer, and ECA Plus. What did someone say? Do you know the ECA Plus on there?
As far as the drop-off location or pickup location?
I don't know. I heard someone say ECA Plus. When we're talking about what goes on the flyer. Was I dreaming? Okay.
I think you were dreaming.
I feel rested. Okay.
And so we have the, that's all set.
I obviously didn't get all that.
Okay, so the calendar is fine, right? We're doing the
Looks good.
flyers and...
Yeah.
So as far as the
That was great,
Survey Monkey, is that all, the only other thing that I thought of is that we need to make the numbering the same as the printed version,
Right.
is that right?
I think so.
There's a number of comments. Do you want me to go through them?
Let's go
from-
Well, let's address this one comment first.
Well,
Okay.
It has to be the same numbering, because otherwise, if we collect the printed version and try to incorporate that all into SurveyMonkey so we can see all the results, we need to have the questions line up number to number. So
Sure, and we're probably going to be manually entering all the survey responses that
Right.
we get in hard copy.
Right.
So
So,
this will make it easier.
it will line up if you're answering.
It's a lot
questions.
easier if the
So
numbers are the
I will
same.
go through the hard copy and make sure that the page numbers line up.
Question numbers.
The question numbers
Okay.
match, because we no longer have questions A, B, C.
Unless you can figure out a way to make it do that. I don't think there is. I don't think there is a way to make those sub-question numbers, but there might be, as far as digging around in there.
On SurveyMonkey?
Yeah.
I think we're at the point now where
Yeah, leave it
we
alone.
need to leave it alone.
I'm happy to.
And
It's
there was
just
a
as
few
you say.
other minor little changes that we did while we were kind of entering it as far as grammatical things.
I don't think that really is relevant so much if it's not maybe it does matter, I don't know.
I think it matters for us later on when we're doing the data entry.
All right, well, if you can let me know what the changes were.
If you look on the SurveyMonkey, you can see it.
Well, it might be hard to pick those out on,
Unless you want me to do it?
Well, why don't we sit down afterwards and go through it? I mean, they're minor changes, it's just like,
Okay.
if they're minor, we can...
did everyone have a chance to take the SurveyMonkey?
No.
I didn't take it yet.
Okay.
Well, let's talk about the comments that we got back from EDIC. And not all of them we need to necessarily...
So we received two comments from the EDIC. The first comment, this is a few pieces. I'll just read the whole thing. Looked at the survey, on the whole looks good. I'm assuming some short explanation will be given somewhere why the survey is being conducted, which we're going to address.
Yep.
So, in the consumer preference surveys, we need more sounds odd, and most of the items we don't even have one of. Maybe being picky, but could we say need, comma, or need more, rather than we need more? How often do you shop, purchase sections? No category says occasionally. There are many instances that monthly, weekly, daily do not apply for people, and rarely does not apply either.
We had a discussion on that one, and I think we can stay with what we had, because we went over that like rarely and occasionally was just too ambiguous.
Right, so we have, I believe it was daily, monthly, weekly, never, rarely, monthly, weekly, daily.
Yeah, and I feel confident that we made the right decision in going with that.
I mean, we could say rarely / occasionally, but I think those, in my opinion, those are the same.
Right, they are. So as Kathy said, we've done this.
Okay.
He's been here, we've done this.
Yeah, so then, and addressing the first one, need or need more, rather than just need more. I don't,
I think if one is more than zero, so
that's how I.
let's keep
of
that
the
as
same
well.
opinion.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
okay. Okay, so those are addressed. And then the other comment says, so the survey assumes you work, some people don't. So I think we work in Easthampton, yes or no. But if you don't work, we don't have that option that says you don't work.
Then
And I don't know if we want to put that
Do
in.
we care if they work or not?
I'm not necessarily sure. I mean, it can be defined as work, what is work? If someone has a hobby that they do on a regular basis, whether they get paid for it or not, if it's something that causes them to transport themselves from one place to another, that could be considered the answer for that question. It would be too wordy for us to say, do you work or have a regular hobby in Easthampton? I think for the people who identify themselves as not working at all, I think they can either answer that as though it's what they do otherwise on a
Do I
regular
work
basis.
in Easthampton? No, I don't.
Well, the question says, do you work in Easthampton?
Right.
No.
Yes or no?
We don't ask them whether or not they work at all. We just want to know if they work here.
Right, but
or
then the
live
next
here. We ask
question
you
is,
to-
how far is your commute? And does your commute to work include? So maybe we want to say, I don't know.
I mean,
I think it's getting,
it's kind of understood that if they don't work here, then they're going to say none of the above for that. Or you could change the question and say, if yes, you work here, then answer 3. If no, skip ahead to 4.
Sure.
Or can you just tack an NA box on it?
Sure.
keep in mind, none of these questions are required. So if someone sees a question that's not germane to them, they can very easily skip it.
So maybe we should just add that to the introduction that says, feel free to skip questions.
No, I
That's the
think it's pretty.
monkey.
I think if people will understand
Looks
that.
a lot like that.
They don't need to, and especially since we're a little bit tight on space.
Yep. The other comment from the same person was that it has too many writing answers at the beginning. It'll put people off. My response to that, I was thinking we should break up the first couple pages just so there's more. So the survey occurs over more pages.
There's so many questions. What I found when I took it, that it was
I thought it was overwhelming.
way over. I couldn't finish it, and I mean to do that many responses.
Yeah, so I thought there should.
I'm worried that that people aren't going to take it honestly. But unless we somehow drastically
Well, I thought
cut it down.
Can we do like?
My thought was that if we add it to like, it's over 10 pages rather than over 4 pages, then you only see the question that you were looking at in the related sub-questions.
Still a lot of
And then-
clicking either way.
It's a lot of
But-
clicking, but you're not like paging down and paging down and paging down and paging down.
Psychological difference.
And and you see, and it says, page 1 of 10,
Right.
but you see that on the first page there's only 3 questions. You make the
Right.
assumption that, okay, well this
Okay.
is easy, like there's just
That's
10
easy enough to
pages
do.
of 3 questions.
Here's the
Kathy, what were you
question
gonna
too. Can we do a range instead of like the write-ins? How long have you lived here? Like 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 plus.
Sure.
I mean, can we do?
But it
Of course not.
involves,
but-
We've gone through this already.
that involves a lot of new formatting. And
It's just
we have
easier
to
to
update.
It wouldn't be hard to do, but whether or not,
Then we wouldn't have consistency in the other survey, the hard copy survey.
right.
yeah,
Okay, whatever.
yeah.
If that's the survey.
We can add nice little, or I don't know if we can, but down at the bottom, almost done,
Yeah,
getting closer.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging in,
a little
just nice
progress
little-
bar that just says
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
We could also at the beginning say, anticipate spending X number of minutes on this.
I think we have that in the, it says it takes about 15 minutes to complete.
We do, okay. Now, those of you, do you think 15 minutes is accurate?
I don't know. I gave up after 5.
I took it and it was, I took it once through in the hard copy and it took 15 minutes to do it. And I read everything.
And I was writing joke answers too. Nobody read my responses, I guess.
And then the
I'll
final,
have to clear that up. I'm sorry.
so we can break it up a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm making note to increase the page count.
Yeah, I had some thoughts over where the logical breaks were.
Okay.
So we can, if you want to shut up. And the final comment was that on questions 12 to 19, we should lock the headers as we scroll down. Because
Oh, yeah.
as you scroll down, you lose which column is,
That's good.
Okay.
and it was, if your screen is narrow,
Okay. What I'll do is I'll make these changes and then I'll send it back out to the group,
yeah.
although we all have the link already. So, give me a couple days and go back in and look at it, please.
Just let us know when you've made the changes.
Okay.
And then,
Yeah.
The other piece, what I picked up on was it says, other, please specify and indicate reading, and we don't have a reading next to it.
We can't. That's why I have those words in there. So they have to write in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Except that we took that down. It only says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, okay, but so they can use the words that are above. They can say rarely, they can say never, they can say occasionally. It's impossible to have the rating things on other in SurveyMonkey, as far as I know. And I looked really hard for it.
All right. That's the way it is, then that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Maybe we just want to say then,
Well, no, I see, that's why I have those words there, so we could just say other and leave it at that, but we want people to indicate what strength they feel about such and such.
if it just said other, would people know to write, we need less bars, we need more supermarkets?
We wouldn't exactly. They have to specify what they think about there. Or if they put on another store, how often would they go there? We would have no idea unless they said that. That's why I put those words there.
Okay.
So, is that all in that then?
Does anyone else have any thoughts, complaints, gripes?
Oh, I have one last thought. Can we make a second survey? Just to have a response for your contact info? So rather than having that contact info associated with the survey results, it just says done, next, thank you for completing the survey. If you'd like to stay in touch with us, put in your use, just so it's separate. And we can also then keep that survey up on the website outside of this survey.
Right, in a sense, we can have a contact area next to the survey on the page and on several of the pages where if you want to, it's kind of like a subscribe area.
Yeah.
That's what we should do then.
Do we have a subscribe area on the website?
We can. We haven't put that up there.
I would suggest we
Certainly can.
I would suggest we point people to that.
Right. So
Not have it be a survey.
taking it out of the
Take that
survey.
off the survey.
Take that survey.
And then just having that,
Right.
the arrow that says go to this, enter your contact information here. So
Sure.
it's separate from your responses, so people don't get concerned about us.
Well, how would we
Right,
how would we do that with the hard copy then?
It stays in the hard copy.
We can't, it would only be the online survey.
That makes sense.
Okay, cool.
And I believe that the hard copy says something like, or go online to fill out this contact information.
I will do that. I will include that part.
So,
Okay.
can we move the order to talk about the Chamber of Commerce thing set next instead of, because that kind of relates to the website?
Yeah.
And this is all sort of related.
That's fine. It's going to be very brief because
We don't have Eric here to really tell us either.
right. Actually, you know what? I suggest let me say very briefly what it was and then say we table the rest of it until Eric's here.
Okay.
I presented to them, I spent probably about 15-20 minutes talking to them. It was about 80% me presenting to the chamber and about 20% people asking questions. It was very good having both Pat and Eric there because I'm not always really comfortable speaking, public speaking, and I forgot to really stress the fact that we understood why they had pulled back a little bit and we wanted them back.
What kind of questions were they asking?
Oh, kind of what we're planning on doing, what some of the plans are with the website, what the survey was, how we had progressed. Oh no, this is the thing. I had done that. I had asked them to come back. What I hadn't made really strong enough in the beginning was the fact that we are not going to be charging money. We are based for the consumer, whereas they are based for businesses. So I'm glad that Eric brought that up and we made that very clear. So we're not going to be perceived in any way as competition for the Chamber of Commerce.
It's awesome.
And I think that
That's really
helped a
important.
lot.
I'm sure it did.
I would be very surprised if they don't want to have an affiliation back again with us. But we need to hear that from Eric or Pat, more importantly.
Maybe we should reach out and ask
I
them,
will send them a note.
because otherwise we need to make other arrangements.
Yeah.
Especially with the survey coming online, we need to have that, if they're gonna be part of it, have that on the website.
Yeah.
When you say having them back, I think I'm missing a little chunk of history.
In the beginning on the website, we had the logo for, the logo and mention of both ECA Plus and the Greater Easthampton Chamber of Commerce as being sponsor or supporters
Right.
of local works. Partners, okay. In the fall, Pat came to us and said there were a number of chamber members who had expressed dissatisfaction with having the chamber mentioned as a partner on the website because there was nothing going on.
And we don't know who that was or what, if they were the same, because so we know that those people's concerns are addressed.
Well, I don't think it really matters who particularly it was. I understand how they felt that way, whether it was one person or 20 people.
Right.
Right, okay,
So-
all right.
That's why
So you're saying to re-partner with,
we partner with the chamber. Yeah. And get them comfortable in having mention of the Greater Easthampton Chamber of Commerce on our website as a partner.
Now, if they don't want to partner with us,
be an affiliate?
does that open up other discussions for what the purpose of the committee is?
Perhaps.
I guess I was just confused as to why, I mean, sort of why, or if there was particular questions that weren't being answered. But at this point, it's mostly the chamber board of directors that agreed that they didn't want to be part of it.
At the time.
At the time.
At the time.
Right.
I think perhaps they do now, so I will reach out to
But
them.
I don't think there wasn't ever anything, as a chamber member myself, I was never asked whether or not I liked the local works.
Okay, so yes,
So I don't know who, I wonder what.
It was the board, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. And I think when Pat was here,
The
that
meeting that Pat came to, he said that there was one new member who expressed concern about the website.
Really?
oh, I don't remember that. Okay.
But of course, that was an entirely different website, at that different domain name and everything.
Yeah.
Right, so, yeah.
But that just relates to the topic of the website and kind of having some degree, some sort of content or something, so when people go there to take a survey, it might be nice that there was some information on our partners, the chamber, ECAT, have some of these initiatives we've talked about, like things that are opportunities for businesses, opportunity as a business to have some sort of profile on our page and maybe post your Twitter feed, opportunity for organizations like Art in the Orchard to have a page for announcements, etc.
I think I was just getting stuck in the word partner. It's more like an affiliate.
Well, the EDIC, this is the EDIC's idea, this local works committee. And they invited ECA, they invited the chamber to come
Oh, I
together
see. Okay.
and be part of the committee.
Even as just a list of these are the, because people are going to go and click on the survey, they might want to say, what is Local Works about? And then at least if you go and see, okay, this is part of Chamber and ECA, and it gives a bit of credibility to the survey. Can't hurt. Otherwise, we could just do the survey separately from the website altogether, so it was just advertised as a link to SurveyMonkey. If we feel like the website doesn't add value to us, right, if there's no content, in other words, we should kind of maybe tighten it up, so eliminate pages that have nothing on it that are just future plans kind of thing, or have some initiative to actually put content there.
We're talking the website now.
Website, yeah.
We have 5 weeks to clean up the website before the survey goes live on it.
Right. So if anybody wants to do that,
I'd be willing to set aside some time to work with you on it.
yeah, okay.
I think we need 4 people to have a quorum, so up to 3 people can get together without any type of public meeting and work together on any aspect of the website or any aspect of the survey or anything like that, and it doesn't violate the open meeting law.
Okay, well, can we just have 2 and then everybody email some feedback and
The emailing of feedback may,
for content?
I think so.
As long as it doesn't, I mean, it shouldn't be deliberation if it doesn't require voting. And it's not something we're
It's about communication. So if the two people are working on the website and then just say, here's the new website, bring your comments to the next meeting, that would be fine?
Right, I wasn't suggesting comments, I was suggesting, hey, let's put this in the website too. You know, let's put that in the website. I mean, not feedback-related comments, but input from... But I mean, I guess maybe I need to clarify the open meeting law stuff because it's not really an issue. We've already agreed to update the website. I thought that the deliberation was about debate on a specific...
We can have this offline.
All right.
We have 62 followers on Facebook as well.
Good.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Good. Do people in this group regularly look at the Facebook page?
I look when I see it come in the feed that Local Works did this or that. It might be good. Can more than one person administer and post as Local Works? Because that might be helpful
Anyone
too.
can post to it.
But post
I
as
Doesn't have to be an
Local Works.
administrator.
I just
Yeah.
did some research into pages on Facebook. Planning department's starting a Facebook page, and basically the page admin, any page admin can make any other person who already likes the page a page admin.
Right.
And once you're like the page and you become a page admin, you get a little drop down at the top of your page that says use Facebook as
Right.
Local Works. So then anything that you would post would be posted from Local Works, even if it was on someone else's private
Right.
timeline, and any of the admins can post as Local Works.
I think we should be able to do that so that there can be more content coming out of it. And
I
I
already
will-
can, just so you know.
you can.
I will go through and make anyone in this group that has liked it administrators.
Yeah.
And the same for the Twitter.
I don't tweet.
If,
Neither do I.
Neither do I.
I guess a 17-year-old. What's that?
well, a lot of times your Facebook status is the same as a tweet. It could be sent to duplicate
Yeah,
places.
there was something about that, I think, in Facebook, that you can have a link to your Twitter.
Automatically tweet it.
So maybe you want to turn that on. Maybe we want to deal with Twitter later.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't have a thought on that.
I'm standing on the corner. Still standing here.
I had macaroni and cheese. Here's my Instagram.
That was our conversation when mobile phones first came out. People would just call each other just to say they were talking on their mobile phone. Sort of silly.
Okay.
Any other comments?
So, what did the chamber say? Did they give you a...
Thank you.
No.
Understand that story.
They didn't give me any further. They said thank you for coming. Yeah, I mean, I was a small portion of their meeting, so I was there for the first 15 minutes. So I have no idea. But my gut feeling is I didn't get any negative reaction. I had no negative vibes. So, and I urged everyone to go to the website. I mean, even if they go to it now, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than what it was. So, and I also urge them to give us feedback. You know, talk to us, let us know what you think.
I mean, I can understand why any organization might be reluctant to affiliate with anyone else that they're not in control of, or whatever reason they might perceive as a liability or threat. But we should find out sooner rather than later so that we can focus on other things.
Right. Well, I will send a note tonight to Pat, copying Eric.
I mean, sorry.
Go ahead.
When they decide to partner with us, they'll get a logo on the website. But I don't think it's not changing how we're proceeding with the website or changing how we're proceeding with the survey.
Except if they have certain demands that they don't want certain things on the website that maybe we do want, that's where it becomes a problem. And that's what the issue
Even though
was kind of implied.
we already have chamber member on the group.
Right.
Just the way we have ECA plus member on the group. So that's how that feedback comes back to us.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. If someone has an issue, then we address it. Just the same way if someone with ECA plus has an issue, bring it up and we address it.
I'm just gonna let you fill it in.
Okay, I guess, is that it? Is there any other?
Can we just recap roles and responsibilities going forward for what we've decided for today? Just so everyone knows what we're doing. Just I want to make sure that we're getting everything done when we say we did. Everyone knows what they're doing and I'm going to drop the ball.
How about, since I have a lot of to-dos, let me say what I'm going to do first. I'm going to contact Big E's and make sure it's okay with us to post, have a hard copy there. I'm going to update the ad for the changes, and I'll make two. One for before it releases and one for after. And I will update the flyer with the same. I'm going to send a note to Pat Ruff and Eric Snyder about how the chamber still feels about us and what the results of my presentation were. And I'm going to make all of the people in local works who are friends of the Facebook page administrators. And on the Survey Monkey, I'm going to increase the page number count, and I'll talk to you first to get your input as to where.
I'm happy to work with you on that.
Okay, and then I will also see if I can make it so that the header is locked in place once you're within a certain question. And I will remove the contact information section. Then I'm going to take a nap.
Yeah.
They're gonna need a good meal after that.
Well, good, Josh is doing everything.
I was going to say,
We're gonna have to take
All right, next meeting, you let us know how that got.
how'd that work out for you, Josh?
All right, that's it then.
And then Matt and I are gonna put more content on the page.
Great.
The webpage.
You're also going to put together an ECAP piece for this.
Yes, we're gonna do PSAs and announcements to support the flyer.
And I'm going to update the survey, the hard copy, and when Josh gets me the ads, I'm going to be contacting Gazette, working with Gazette to get everything published on time.
Cool.
As well as the press release.
Russell, do you want to say anything to this madcap group here before we...
I can't believe Survey Monkey's worth over $1 billion.
I can believe it.
Well, we're very excited, or I mean, at least me as a citizen are very excited about the art in the orchard again this year. It was a great thing a couple of years ago.
It was beautiful. That was beautiful.
There's could be space for local related businesses to set up little booths like at the fair or something. We've been talking about it, but I don't know what kind of interest there is. There's so much diversity in Easthampton, so many different kinds of businesses that it would really be hard to include a cross-section or anything like that, so it's...
Sorry. Maybe there could be like a special day or a special weekend during, is it going to be 2 months long weekend?
3 months.
3 months. Maybe there's a specific time that we could make like a local business fair or something out of one section.
Especially the other local farms I'm thinking of in particular. And then, there's some amount of crafters and other related arts type stuff. And then there's like the other 99% of people in Easthampton that do entirely different things, I'm always amazed.
Are the dates set?
It's going to coincide, the opening will be Art Walk in August, which is the 10th.
Okay.
And then up to Halloween-ish. It sort of peters out at the end, so people get sculpture fatigue.
Do you want to just say where your orchard is?
It's 82 Park Hill Road in Easthampton.
Beautiful setting. Some of the best sunsets I've seen from right there.
Oh, absolutely.
That's over Mount Tom. Pomeroy Mountain.
There was an idea of having some sort of a walk or run or some sort of a low, an inclusive sport event that could include children and seniors, and you don't have to be an active duty Marine to win. It would cover, through the arts districts and the farm districts and end up at the Art in the Orchard. So that's something I may be coming to your committee with some plans about, as well as the agriculture committee, to maybe make some sort of it'd be nice to get several groups working together on one thing like you just said. is a sort of rah-rah Easthampton thing. It would be fun. We have, I mean, farms on both sides of town. We have a beginning and an ending point. We can connect the dots, you know, with some sort of a, I don't know what, a poker walk, poker stroll.
Well, I think local works, especially after this survey is done, we're going to need other projects to work on, and we're open to...
Once you get all your data,
That's right.
How far is it between you and Mountain View?
Mountain View, I guess. I'm not sure, but a nice course could probably be laid out. I'm thinking 2 kilometers, I'm thinking, but maybe further. But you'd have to go to Mockingbird Farm and to Chickling Farm and to Ravenwall. You'd have to wind all through town. Plus Wild Sky, it's way down there on the other end of Easthampton. Maybe the winery would give us a credit in Southampton, but we could always, make them Easthamptonites for a day.
Absolutely, yeah.
If they gave us free wine.
Well, the Chamber and DCA both include Southampton and Westhampton. So.
Before we adjourn, I talked to EDIC about adding members. I said what the procedure is if we vote a new person, accept a new person, then what we do is have you write me a letter, very short, just a brief letter of intent saying I want to join Local Works and this is why. And then I present it to them. And I will be presenting it to them on the third Tuesday of March. I think it'll be March 19th, I guess, since our next meeting is March 12th. So if you can do that, and email it to me.
Yeah, sure. Definitely. Any specifics on what it needs to say, or?
No. When I wrote the one for me joining EDIC, it was probably 3 sentences long.
Okay.
The biggest piece about it is that this committee wants you, and we're forwarding that recommendation along with your specific personal interest to the parent organization that formed this committee.
So next meeting, we can vote.
Then we have the date on the calendar.
The second Tuesday is March 12th.
All right, I guess we're adjourning now. Thank you.
Thank you.